الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Yesterday, for those of you who stay for that tafsir program that we have every day, inshallah, we plan to finish that tomorrow with the help and will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I mentioned a few things, a few advices which are important, I felt. I talked about how we as a community should offer feedback. And everybody has a right to give feedback. Now I also talked about some etiquettes, and I said what I said. Right? So whoever was there was there. Then I want to mention something that happened after. I was sitting there and I saw a brother approach me. He came kind of fast. I was like, I don't know. He came and he sat down. I know him very well. And he said, you know what, Sheikh? That person that had whatever feedback about maybe the Tarawih extended a little long and this and that, he came up to me, he said, you know, that was me. I didn't know who he was. But he came and he exposed himself, so to say. I said, okay. I said, did you hear what I have to say? He said, yes, I did. He said, you know what? You said something and it made a lot of sense to me. He said, if the Tarawih goes maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes more than our expected time that we think that it usually goes because we're not reading the same amount every day. He said, you know, you said that it's all for the sake of Allah. And the hadith that we stand in the last 10 nights or in the month of Ramadan with iman and ihtisab, with hope of reward from Allah, all our sins are forgiven. So he said, that made sense to me. So I said, alhamdulillah, that's amazing. And I appreciate you for coming to me directly, not going around and start talking. Did you hear what the Shaykh had to say, what the Imam had to say? Why does he have to say that? He came to me, he spoke to me in a beautiful manner, we stood up, I shook his hand, he hugged me, he walked away. Ittaqullah, fear Allah, wa qulu qawlan sadida, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and speak in a straight manner. And this interaction, it spoke to me a lot about this brother's character, of how pure his intention is, and he was a mukhlis brother. And it reminded me of an incident that when Uthman radiallahu anhu, the great Sahabi and the third Khalifa, he passed away, there was a big uproar in the Ummah. There was two camps that divided. One was Hazrat Muawiyah radiallahu anhu. His opinion was that we should find those people who assassinated Uthman radiallahu anhu as soon as possible. Delay all other matters, we need to find the killers. Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu was the other side. His opinion was that, O Muawiyah radiallahu anhu, I agree with you. However, because of this assassination, the entire ummah, right, the khilafat is in turmoil. I need to make sure everything's under control. I mean, imagine after an assassination or a coup attempt, what happens to the government? So he said, I agree with you, but I need some time. I promise you, O Muawiyah radiallahu anhu, that once everything is settled, I will find the killers of Uthman radiallahu anhu. Muawiyah radiallahu anhu didn't really agree to this. However, I want to say here, both of them are Sahaba. They're very prominent Sahabas. And our principle is that as-Sahabatu kulluhum adul, that all the Sahaba are righteous and just. So we don't speak about this. We just know that they had a disagreement. It's between them. We respect both. We revere both. What happened? That the disagreement between these two Sahaba went to such an extent that a battle took place, the Battle of Siffin. You can read about it in the Tarawih books. And on one side was Ali radiallahu anhu, and on the other side was Muawiyah radiallahu anhu and Aisha radiallahu anha. She was supporting Muawiyah radiallahu anhu. All three of them are mujtahideen. Mujtahid, mujtahid, mujtahida. Meaning they had the right to make such a call because of them being someone who is a mujtahid who can make this type of decision. So we don't speak about that. Now the disagreement was so great that they had a war. Swords were raised. Muslims were killed. But what happened, I want to mention something that happened in the middle of this entire incident. The ruler of Rome, Heraclius, he heard about this. He knew what was going on. He wrote a letter to Muawiyah. He wrote a letter to Muawiyah radiallahu anhu, and he said that, O Muawiyah, I will send reinforcements. I will send an army to help you against Ali radiallahu anhu. Listen to the response of Muawiyah radiallahu anhu. When the Prophet ﷺ used to write letters to other rulers, he would write, "Wassalamu or assalamu ala man ittaba al-huda." That peace be upon anyone who has guidance. Right, generally, as a way of respect. Muawiyah radiallahu anhu writes back to Heracles. And you know how he starts the letter? Ya kalb al-Rum. Hey, Rumi kutte. You Roman dog. How dare you interfere in the matter between two Muslims? How dare you interfere in the matter between two brothers? What is happening between us is between us. If by Allah, if you send one member of your army, even an inch towards Ali radiallahu anhu, Wallahi, I will join his army and I will fight behind him and under his banner. These are two people who are ready to take swords against each other. And soon as someone tried to divide them, he said, Ya kalb al-Rum. How dare you interfere in our matters? Heracles then sent a letter to Ali radiallahu anhu. He received the same response. So my respected brothers and sisters, as this month leaves us, we have to tie our affairs with each other. We have to have this brotherhood that Muawiyah radiallahu anhu had with Ali radiallahu anhu. Think about the disputes that we have. Are we on that level that we're about to kill, or we're about to go to war with our brothers or sisters? Nowhere our disputes are near that level. But we stop speaking to people. We start spreading rumors about people. We spread, there's contention in the community. And here are two people who literally had a disagreement that led them to war. But when someone tried to interfere, they said, how dare you interfere between two people who say, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. This kalima is what binds us. This kalima is what unites us. And this kalima is what should be kept at the forefront when we have disputes. I already mentioned, if you have some dispute with your family member or a community member, and you have completely cut ties, and then you come and make salah, what do you think Allah is going to do with that salah? What do you think Allah is going to do with your fast, with your zakah, with your good intentions? So these akhlaq that our Sahaba showed us are very, very important. And now that this month is leaving, the shaitan is locked up. Right now we have an opportunity. Fix our affairs. Fix our affairs. Our hearts are stooped in heedlessness and ghafla. And in this month of Ramadan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, oh my believers, remove these curtains of darkness and shadows that have been put upon your hearts by your own enmity and hatred, and start loving one another. Stop hating one another for small things, for small issues. And I thought of this yesterday. Even though yesterday the interaction I had with this brother was nowhere near anything. I just mentioned some nasiha, but he came up to me and look at the respect I have for this brother. And everybody knows this brother. I'm not going to mention his name. He's very well known here. He's one of the most liked and respected brothers in this entire community. And yesterday he showed me why. Because of his pure and beautiful akhlaq. So fix our akhlaq, fix our character before we only focus on our ibadat, which are very important. But our Sahaba showed us that ashabi kan nujum. The Prophet ﷺ said, each and every single one of my companions is like a shining star. If you follow them, they will guide you. Radiyallahu anhum wa radu anhu. So let us learn from this incident of Muawiyah radiallahu anhu who we love, Ali radiallahu anhu who we love, and Bibi Aisha radiallahu anha who we love. All three of them we love. And what a beautiful example they set for us. And with one more, tomorrow is an odd night with Khatm al-Quran. We have time. Let's straighten our affairs with our brothers and sisters. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us in this. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallah wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. One small reminder, inshallah.